I learned about this guy here, Dan Wooten, from following Depp and Heard. Now, you probably know Dan wrote not such nice things about Johnny in The Sun. False allegations, in fact, but now Dan's got allegations out against him, and they don't seem so false, but time will tell. This here's the Byline Times from September 14th, 2023. They've got an update on their 3-year investigation against Dan. It's called Dan Wooten's Conflicting Accounts over Phillip Schofield's Outing. Let's see what we got. Dan Wooten gave conflicting accounts of his involvement in the outing of former ITV star Phillip Schofield, Byline Times can reveal. In now-deleted tweets from March 2020 uncovered by this newspaper, Wooten denied having ever discussed Phil's sexuality with ITV before the veteran broadcaster came out live on air and in the pages of the Sun newspaper. However, Wooten later admitted to having a critical call in November 2019 with ITV's Group Corporate Affairs and Communications Director Paul Moore, in which Schofield's sexuality was central to the conversation. What do you know? Now, here's the thing. This person, Schofield, if I'm saying that right, by the way, didn't do anything illegal. And that's why I think Dan should have just kept a lid on it. If he did something illegal, okay, well, I guess Dan's got the right to point that out. But it wasn't illegal. Schofield quit ITV's This Morning program this May after admitting to an unwise but not illegal affair with a younger male colleague while married to wife Stephanie Lowe, with whom he has 2 daughters. Following this, Wooten wrote an article in his now suspended Mail Online column saying, "I told ITV about Phillip Schofield's affair with his young colleague in 2019 and urged them to investigate." Why? I don't know. If I'm reading this correctly, this guy Phillip had an affair with someone in their 20s, and Dan wants to report on it and investigate? What's the investigation? It's not even like the guy was 18 or 19, where it's a gray area for some people, where it's legal, but some people consider that too young. 20s is fine. The apparent discrepancy is significant because the public position of Wooten, who is gay, is that he would never out someone or assist in it. Byline Times can now give details about Wooten's role in Schofield's decision to reveal his sexuality on air to this morning's viewers before giving the Sun a further exclusive tell-all interview on his outcoming. "This is absolutely my decision." A source with knowledge of the matter told this newspaper Wooten, who had been approaching Schofield's lover, and that was what started the ball rolling. Again, why? This is a real personal matter without anything illegal going on. If you want to expose something illegal, well, that's one thing. But this just seems like Dan snooping around when it's not his business. That led to a conversation between Dan Wooten and Schofield, what they call a front up in newspaper terms. The private matter of Phillip's sexuality was the crux of it. Wooten also asked ITV about Schofield and the workplace culture at This Morning, preceding a deal between the Sun and the veteran presenter's advisors in which he announced he was gay. However, Wooten denies any involvement in Schofield's coming out, writing on the Mail Online on May 27th, "Contrary to incorrect and malicious internet rumors, I never once suggested that the solution was outing Phillip Schofield." What were you so curious about then? If that was a male-female relationship, just to add an analogy here, and you're asking about somebody's affairs, their private life, when you've got no business doing so and you're not involved, that's snooping around. That's being nosy. That's not your business. In the same piece, Wooten described the 2019 conversation with Mr. Moore, who was right-hand man to ITV chief executive Carolyn McCall. Wooten wrote, "I was executive editor at The Sun at that point and had spoken to 8 household name ITV stars who were raising concerns about Phillip's toxic behavior, specifically the inappropriate relationship with the man, which I'm still confused about." I mean, okay, I know Schofield was married. That's not morally correct, but not illegal is my main point. If I knew someone in my office place was cheating, I would go on with my business. It's a work environment. We're there to work. I'm supporting my family. They're supporting theirs. I disagree with what they're doing. I might think morally they're not a good person, but it's not my job to get involved in that. The matter of Schofield's outing came to a head after the National Television Awards on January 28, 2020. At the event, Wooten talked extensively to the man Schofield had been in a relationship with. I don't know. Big elephant here. Could it be Dan liked the guy? Could it be Dan was jealous? I don't know. Nah, that can't be it. What am I thinking? That's just my silly opinion. This was quickly followed by the commencement of negotiations between the Sun's then incoming editor-in-chief, Victoria Newton, and representatives for Schofield from his former agent's James Grant management. With little choice to engage with the Rupert Murdoch-owned tabloid, Schofield agreed a deal to first tell This Morning's viewers he was gay on February 7th before giving an exclusive interview to the newspaper. In return, the Sun left out the detail of Schofield's relationship with the younger man. Sounds like something this guy Phillip didn't want to do, and why would he if he's got a wife and 2 daughters? And that's what they're saying, is Dan had involvement in it. Now, on Dan's part, I don't think he did anything illegal, but it doesn't make him look so good morally. And you could see why he might get into other people's business, like, let's just say, Johnny Depp. He added, "This is my decision, this is my decision, this is absolutely my decision, it was something I knew that I had to do." Well, he said that 3 times as if it wasn't his decision. A month after Schofield went public in March 2020, Wooten briefly hit out on Twitter, now called X, at suggestions online he'd had a hand in the events before then deleting his tweets. And you know, when someone deletes tweets, well, it must be because... why? He tweeted to his 500,000 plus followers that he had never even spoken to ITV about Schofield's sexuality, saying he would not ever play even a minor role in outing somebody. There they are. It's entirely true, as Phil said. As Phil so honestly said. Story not true, no meeting, no threat whatsoever. I have never discussed Phil's sexuality with ITV. Sad people aren't believing him here. All right, well, maybe they didn't believe him because he came off insincere about it and said it 3 times. Despite Wooten's claims he would never out someone or assist in it, the Schofield incident is one of a number of occasions in which the journalist was involved in revealing men in public to be gay, which Byline Times will be addressing in forthcoming parts of its special investigation. So you could say they're doing a great job of building Dan's character here. And that character, well, it's looking like not such an honest person, snooping its nose around where it shouldn't be. But we kind of knew that. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. The article goes on, but this is the main point of it. Check out Byline Times. I'll link their site below. If you're not subscribed here, consider it. If you don't, I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.